guys? Welcome to the Silver Report. Here we are. It's Saturday, March 18th, 2017. We have gold currently trading at $1,229.80. Silver's trading at $17.47. And let's get into some of the economic factors because I want to discuss silver price manipulation and what we've been seeing recently with JP Morgan, as they're one of the major banks that's involved in the silver price manipulation. But let's look at some data. Recently, in the past 4 years, JP Morgan's in-house trading group has had exactly 2 days of losses. So in 4 years, JP Morgan's in-house trading group has 2 days of losses. That's not trading. Trading involves uncertainty and risk. This situation has none. It's an extraction process, siphoning value from the market day after day with ironclad dependability. And it's not just a few dollars here and there. In 2016, JP Morgan's daily average trading revenues were $80 million a day. That's per day. That's nearly $20 billion for the year. That's a little bit more than we have in our United States government now that we've locked in this debt ceiling. It's not trading. What should we call it? When a bank can extract tens of billions of dollars a year from the markets with no downside risk. What this is sanctioned theft. Because for every trade, there is a buyer and a seller. If JP Morgan is the winner every day, who is losing? Turns out it's the big pools of dumb money that don't have the cheat codes for the system the way these banks do. These are the pensioner funds, the index funds, the retirement accounts, the aggregated money of all the little people out there. It's us, the little people who don't have visibility into how they're being constantly fleeced. Nor do we have any agency to do anything about it, even if they did. So yeah, it's theft. In essence, taxation. Where's our representation? Feels like a pretty accurate term. It's reached a point where the banks don't even care about hiding it anymore. If you had a nice inside racket going on, wouldn't you at least pretend to hide your advantage to avoid drawing attention? Not the banks. They're either too proud or too obtuse to conceal it. Look at our string of perfect trading days. Look at our record bonuses. These boasts fall on the ears of everyday Americans as the modern version of let them eat cake. And so what we've seen recently, JP Morgan is back into court for silver price fixing, and it's just the fact that these people don't lose. We go and we vote. We get all impassioned, and we vote for change. Why is Goldman Sachs ending up on all of these cabinet positions? Why are all of these banks having appointees leave the government and go and get high-paying salary jobs for not even committing any work, just for favors that are passed? We must really get down to the point of the issue, is the fact that these banks have a stranglehold over every bit of commerce that we make. And yet, who really benefits? What was the reason for the crowds? What was the reason for the Occupy Wall Street movement? Because it wasn't Wall Street, it wasn't the traders, it was the fact that the bailout money went to the banks. It was the fact that they took our tax money and gave it over to these too big to fail banks who are now even larger. How much thin air money are we talking about here? The Fed and the rest of the world's central banking cartel, they printed 12 trillion since the Great Recession. 12 trillion with a T. Between the ECB and the DOJ, nearly 200 billion of additional liquidity has been and continues to be injected into the world markets each month since the beginning of 2016. And so what we're facing is that we do not have a level playing field. We do not have a vote in Congress. And whenever we're looking out for some sort of economic recovery or some sort of gains, look who's been the winners of these all-time stock rallies. Look where the dividends are going. Look where the profits are. In the banking stocks. Something about this election pushes so much money to the fact that all these regulations and laws are being passed to be able to limit the way that these banks are controlled. And it feels like we're just backed against the wall. And we really have no hope. The only hope is the independent acquisition of silver and gold by the citizens of this country, and the turning away from their false fiat system, because as they can freely print this money and distribute it to their own banks, so much of this printed, useless paper is given directly to their banks and the banks overseas, and we carry the burden. The taxpayer carries the burden. And they use this money to buy lobbyists in Washington. They use this money to control elections. They use this money for campaign financing. And then all of a sudden, they relieve the regulations from themselves so that they're able to continue to fleece more and more money. When people like J.P. Morgan come up and they don't even take a loss, when they're able to accumulate 850 million ounces of silver, when they're able to corner the markets on gold, silver, and the stock markets without any kind of loss, there's something just needs to be done about this, identifying just what is going on in this country. So the independent acquisition of gold and silver and the restoring of the republic onto sound money is the only solution, because it takes away the power from these central planners, these central controllers. As we see in India, as we see in China, any kind of threat to the currency is resisted with great force, because this is the solution. All right, thank you guys for joining me here on the Silver Report. If you like the content, be sure to subscribe, like the videos, share the videos, get the word out. I thank you guys all so much for stopping by. As always, stay safe.